Hey everyone, welcome back to Sip and Talk. Before we jump into today's, well, slightly weird thought experiment.
Where are we going this time?
Just wait. But first, got to give a quick shout out to our friend Micky.
Oh yeah, Micky.
He's got this awesome YouTube channel. It's called Mickytolife. Seriously, go check it out. Lots of fun stuff over there. All right. So, you know how we're talking to AI all the time now?
Mm-hmm. ChatGPT, all those chatbots, yeah, it's everywhere.
Exactly. And I was thinking, when we say thank you to them, you know, just being polite.
Yeah. What about it?
Does it actually use up energy? Real energy, water, power.
Whoa, hold on. You're saying my little thanks bot is adding to climate change? That's unexpected.
Right. It sounds kind of nuts, but is it? Let's actually dig into this. Is our politeness, this thing we do automatically, actually having some tiny environmental cost in this AI world? And why do we do it? Especially, you hear about some cultures being super polite.
Yeah. I've heard folks in Taiwan often say thank you or sorry or excuse me constantly. Is that feeding into this AI energy thing too? We got to unpack this.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Let's do it. So the core question, does a simple thank you to an AI cost actual resources?
Yeah, like water and electricity.
Well, fundamentally, any interaction with a large AI model requires computation.
Computation means servers running, right?
Exactly. Servers in massive data centers. And those servers run on electricity, a lot of it.
So even if I just type thanks, the AI has to process that input.
It does.
Yeah.
It has to receive the input, understand it, even if it's just recognizing it as a closing remark and potentially log it or decide not to generate a further response. That all takes processing cycles.
Okay, I get the electricity part. But water, you mentioned water.
Yeah, that's a big one people often overlook. These huge data centers generate immense heat.
Right, like any computer, just way bigger.
Way bigger. And they need cooling systems to prevent overheating. A primary method for cooling is using water, vast amounts of water, often through evaporation towers.
Wow. So running the AI uses power, and keeping it running uses water?
Pretty much. So while your single thank you isn't going to drain a reservoir.
Okay, good.
And when you think about the billions, probably trillions of interactions happening globally every single day.
All those little thank yous start to add up.
They contribute to the overall load, the constant demand on these data centers. It's a cumulative effect.
Makes you think. But why do we even do it? It's not like ChatGPT gets its feelings hurt if I don't say thanks.
That's the fascinating psychological part, isn't it? We're interacting with something non-human, non-sentient.
Just code and data.
Right.
Yeah.
But we often fall back on human social protocols. Saying thank you is deeply ingrained social behavior for many of us.
It's just automatic, like saying bless you when someone sneezes.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a habit. Some research suggests we might even do it because the AI mimics conversation so well. It feels like an interaction with something more than just a tool.
So we treat it more like a person, even though we know it's not.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
There's even a bit of debate about whether being overly polite or emotional with AI could lead us to anthropomorphize it too much. See it as more human than it is.
Which could be problematic. Maybe makes us rely on it too much or trust it inappropriately.
Potentially.
Yeah.
But then again, there's another side to it.
Oh, yeah.
For some people, especially maybe in stressful situations or just navigating a busy day, having those polite little exchanges can be comforting.
How so?
Well, getting a polite, "You're welcome," back from an AI, even if it's programmed, can provide a small hit of positive reinforcement. It can make the interaction feel smoother, less transactional, maybe lower stress a tiny bit.
Okay, I can kind of see that, like a little moment of predictable niceness in your day.
Exactly. So that thank you might be serving a purpose for us psychologically, even if the AI doesn't care.
Right. And that links back to the cultural thing, doesn't it? You mentioned Taiwan.
In cultures where politeness, as they say, is really emphasized in daily life, it's almost unthinkable not to use these polite forms.
So thank you, excuse me, sorry. They're just constantly part of the flow of conversation.
Very much so. It's a key part of social harmony and showing respect. It's often described as part of ranking way, that feeling of human warmth and connection in interactions.
Ranking way. Okay. So if you're culturally conditioned to be polite constantly, are you more likely to just automatically say thank you to an AI?
It seems highly likely, doesn't it? It's just the default mode of interaction. You wouldn't consciously decide not to be polite, even if the recipient is digital.
Which means, potentially, that in a place like Taiwan, the average AI user might be sending more of these politeness signals.
Which, going back to our earlier point, adds incrementally more to the energy and water demand.
Wow. That's a strange feedback loop. Culture influencing AI energy use.
It is. Though there's also the idea that sometimes, even in highly polite cultures, some of these expressions can become more surface-level habit than deep feeling.
Like, you say it because it's expected, not because you're overflowing with gratitude at that exact moment.
Precisely. So the thank you to the AI might just be part of that ingrained politeness pattern, rather than a deep emotional response.
Okay, this brings up a big question then. Who's responsible here?
The $1,000,000, maybe terawatt-hour question.
Right. Is it on us, the users, to be more, I don't know, blunt? Just fire off weather instead of, could you please tell me the weather forecast? Thanks.
There's an argument for user awareness, definitely. Being mindful of our digital footprint. Some people, particularly younger generations who are often more environmentally conscious, might be willing to adapt their behavior, be more efficient in their prompts.
But that feels kind of weird, less human.
It does potentially sacrifice that conversational comfort we talked about. And it puts the burden on the individual for a systemic issue.
So the other side is, it's the company's problem, the ones building these massive AI models.
That's the counter-argument, that the primary responsibility lies with the tech companies to develop more energy-efficient algorithms, build greener data centers, use renewable energy sources.
And are they doing that? I mean, you hear about efficiency improvements.
Oh, absolutely. There's huge investment in creating more efficient AI chips, optimizing the models, improving cooling techniques, and sourcing cleaner energy. It's a major focus because energy costs are massive for these companies too.
So technology is getting better, which helps offset maybe our polite chattiness?
To some extent, yes. But the scale of AI use is also growing exponentially, so it's a constant race.
And circling back to the culture thing, should the AI adapt to us? Like, if users in Taiwan prefer polite interactions, should the AI be designed to handle that gracefully, even if it uses slightly more energy?
That's a fascinating design question. Customization, perhaps? AI that can match the politeness level of the user or the cultural norm. Maybe an efficiency mode versus a polite mode.
Huh. A super polite Taiwan mode for AI. Kind of cool, kind of weird.
It highlights the tension, right, between efficiency, user experience, cultural norms, and environmental impact. There aren't easy answers.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up a bit. We went down the rabbit hole on whether saying thank you to AI uses energy.
And the answer is, yeah, kinda. Individually tiny, but collectively it adds to the load on data centers needing power and water.
And we do it partly out of habit, maybe for psychological comfort, and it might be even more common in cultures like Taiwan, where politeness, that ranking way, is super important.
Which then bumps up against the environmental concerns and the question of whether we should change our habits or if the tech companies bear the main responsibility for making AI greener.
While also acknowledging that tech is getting more efficient, thankfully.
Right. It's this complex mix of technology, psychology, culture, and environmental responsibility.
It really makes you think about these invisible consequences of our clicks and taps. Even something as simple as being polite. What's the right balance?
That's the big takeaway, isn't it? Balancing our natural human interaction styles with being responsible digital citizens. It's definitely something to chew on.
For sure. Hey, what do you all think? Does this change how you'll interact with your AI assistant? Gonna skip the pleasantries. Let us know. Hit us up on our socials.
We'd love to hear your thoughts on this one.
And until next time, keep asking those questions. Stay curious. Cheers.
Bye for now.